Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's September 14th, 2020. I apologize for it being quite a while since my last video update, garden tour. And that's what we're going to go on today. In a couple of minutes, I'll put the helmet cam on and we'll take a look at the gardens. It's been really chaotic around here lately. The weather's been changing significantly. I've had to work on Pond 5, do some more of the spreading out of the sediment in the basement and in the base of the pond since the drought has been going on. We just got 3/10 of an inch of rain yesterday. So that was a nice bit of relief. We've been harvesting like crazy: peaches, apples, grapes, potatoes, tomatoes, corn, peppers, and so on and so forth. And what we'll do is we'll go out and take a look in the gardens. We won't go into the food forest at this video. I've been working down with the Beaver Dam access roads and all. A lot of time working down there as well. Thea was on vacation this last week, really working her tail off, trying to get things accomplished and all with all of the produce that we've got coming out of the gardens. We had some challenges. We have 6 or 7 freezers and 3 refrigerator freezers, and they're all just jam-packed, so that's been a challenge as well with getting as much stuff in and processed as well. But apologize for not posting a video. We've just been going crazy here, and the weather's been a bit of a challenge as well. So I'll throw the GoPro helmet cam on and we'll go out and take a walk through the gardens. Here we go. So we'll start out here on the western garden plot. This is the scene that you've seen the last few times, except for the vines have really died back significantly. Therefore, today I went ahead, since we're having these real cold temperatures, even though the Blue Hubbards weren't at the level of curing that I'd really like them to be, I decided to gather them up. I just put them down in the root cellar a few minutes ago. But as you can see, as the vines die back, that's really when the attachment from the squash to the vine starts to harden and turn to a very dark color. This vine is still alive, so we'll see what happens. That squash is sort of stuck there in the chain link. But I really like when I come out here, pull these vines back. I just broke this vine off a minute ago, and I like this attachment here where the squash to turn completely brown and brittle and hard, and to be really firm, and these to start to die back as well. That's ideal. Also, like when I put my thumbnail in here, that I really can't make an indentation. That really helps this squash to cure. Really like some nice warm days baking out in the sun to really help get these to cure so that they last throughout the entire winter. Unfortunately, I think some of ours are not going to last throughout the winter, but that's just how things are. So I've got to clean up this area. You can see there's weeds along in here. I took one of the honeydew melons and brought it inside. We'll see how that is. But lots of weeds here. Glad we did get the cardboard down here. This is that Pennsylvania smartweed. Boy, these things really go to seed like crazy too. But this is the one that the Japanese beetles love. And this is just 1 or 2 large plants, between here and there. So they spread out and produce billions or millions of seeds, which can be a big hassle, but the Japanese beetles will go to this preferentially over the rest of the plants in the garden. Like I said, today I've been busy in other places. So I haven't done any. There's another Blue Hubbard that's sort of stuck there in the cattle panel. I haven't done anything over here. I'll have to see what I could do. I've got to be careful with the scarlet red runner beans. They've been doing really well. I hope we get some more warm weather. It'd be really nice because the beans aren't fully mature yet. But who knows with the weather. But I haven't done any additional work with the thornless blackberry bushes that are volunteers coming up from old rootstock that's underneath the wood chips there. So I've got to spend some time getting the weeds out of here and working over there as well. Not too thrilled with how this cattle panel, or hog panel, this one is, worked out this season. The weeds and the Blue Hubbards, everything was just too dense in here, so that was a problem. I didn't get to weeding in here, as I've mentioned before. And the Blue Hubbards came every place, so they actually occupied a lot of the space where our Scarlet Red Runners actually grow up here and do well. But so far, I can't complain. The Scarlet Red Runner beans have been developing nicely in this garden. The hummingbirds, they're around here all the time. That's pretty awesome. I mentioned before that this is a location where the Acer Red Cabbage was, and this is where the cauliflower were. We put the beans in here. We don't expect to get beans off of them, but it just helped to throw more nutrients back into the soil in the meantime. The lupines have been doing pretty well. That we started from seed this season along in here. We haven't gotten back and weeded, unfortunately. All of the blueberry plants that we started last year, and then we transplanted this season, this spring, are all doing really well. There are a few weeds in here that I've got to take care of, but I'm really happy with how they're doing. I've got to get little hoop trellises over these beds and get those set for the winter time. The honeyberries in amongst the weeds in here are doing well. And of course the Scarlet Red Runners that we put along the chain link there have been doing quite well as well. Bindweed. There's no end to it. So I won't do any weeding right now, but underneath here there are the honeyberry plants. They're doing okay. So in this garden, I'm pretty happy. I wish our season was a bit longer. You know, even just a half an hour south of us won't get the cold days that we get, and they get a little bit warmer in the springtime as well. That would really help with the Blue Hubbard squash as well. So let's head over to the central garden. I haven't had the time to do any mowing lately or whacking, bringing in the ladders for most of the fruit trees for now, for temporarily. So as I mentioned, we did harvest the corn and the corn stalks. We went ahead and they're all part of the mulching around all of the hazelnuts up front. There are some bean plants along in here as well. It's getting to be late in the season, but what I was hoping to do was open up these mats and seed the whole, about 30 inches, 24 to 30 inches of seed in here to try and help increase the carbon and nitrogen going to feed the microorganisms in the soil. And again, we cut the stalks off, leave as much there. A lot of this will not do so well over the winter months, but it'll be hard and caseous and crusty. One of the things I might do is pull the drip tape, open it up if we do have some warm days, and run the flail mower over this so that I can get as much of that material broken down to smaller particles so that the microorganisms can feed on them. Tomatoes have been going bananas. I haven't had the chance to come out and prune them. Thea's been coming out every week or a couple times a week and getting, I don't know, probably 15 gallons at a time from these plants, and that's worked out extremely well. Banana peppers have been doing extremely well. We've buckets and buckets of banana plants. These ones mature so quickly for us, it's really super nice. This is the bed where the broccoli was before, so Thea did go ahead and put beans in here as well. Again, it sort of is a cover crop in this area. Our bell peppers, I've decided I'm never gonna, or at least in the near future, I'm not gonna be trying with the bell peppers anymore. Our season is just too short to really have good, beautiful, mature. They're so immature, where, as you can see, we've been getting tons of peppers off of our banana pepper plants. and we wait until they're fully red. Sometimes we'll do some orange ones, but pretty much when they're completely red. The kale, that's been sitting on the back burner for now because we just haven't had the time. We've been too busy with everything else. But a lot of this kale will end up going and feeding the ducks and going up to the second food forest for the hazelnuts as well. I think pretty soon we'll start get some more yellowing of the leaves of the sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes look really good from the tops. Hopefully they'll turn out. We'll have to see how well they actually do. I'm really hoping that we get a good crop of sweet potatoes from that bed. The corn, boy, did we get tons of corn out of that. I think we got 3 or 4 harvests of the corn, at least 3 harvests of the corn. I just went ahead and processed a little bit of the corn as I was taking the stalks down, and that was no longer sweet. The sugars in that corn ended up turning into starches, which is, as I mentioned in the last video, is so loaded with resistant starches, which resist breakdown in the upper gastrointestinal system and feed the beneficial microorganisms in the colon, which is really awesome. And so in those dishes like chili, where you really can't taste the corn itself and it doesn't add a lot of taste to the chili, the resistant starches really help add another nutrient, phytonutrients, to our bodies as a result of the breakdown and development of short-chain fatty acids by the colonic microorganisms. Here, this half here of the scarlet red runner beans of this area, along this outside here, I did go ahead and get some mulching down, so that really helped to improve it, but this drought really did create some issues, and I just haven't kept up on mulching these beds. The leeks, we're getting pretty close to having to harvest those pretty soon. They've been growing pretty well. The eggplants, the Oriental eggplants, the long narrow eggplants, they didn't produce as much. We're still getting them. My daughter came and took some. The black beauties, of course, they keep producing like crazy. Lots of those. Our various hot peppers here are doing very well. I did go ahead and harvest the blue potatoes. I was really disappointed with the production, the amount of produce, potatoes that we got from this bed. Now it's a short bed, and I put the potato seed potatoes pretty close together, 3 rows going down here. But they were small in size. Now our blue potatoes typically are pretty small in size, but they're small in size and there weren't nearly as many as usual. Now this was all wood chips over here with just one narrow bit of compost 3 years ago, and as the wood chips broke down, I mixed it in with the compost. So there might have been a lot of nutrients sequestered into the wood chips here. And the other way, the thing that I did with it, I took our leaves from last fall that I had delivered from the town, that had sticks, of course, and stones in it, and I used that to hill up the potatoes. And the other videos throughout the garden tours share that, how I actually did that. But I think that, you know, the microorganisms hadn't had a chance to really develop and process the nutrients from these various carbon-rich sources, and therefore the nitrogen levels were lower, and maybe other bioavailable nutrients weren't as good. So I did go ahead and clean them, cure them, and they're down in the root cellar for storage now. but really disappointed how much I got out of here. I did go ahead and reseeded the area. I did not wet the whole area down. You can see it's sort of patchy where some of the seeds are coming up. I put some old corn seed down in here. I put some Russian red kale, some mung seed in here, just to help to get some viability back to the soil, throw some more nutrients in here. I don't like to leave the beds open and dry. It was quick and easy, and we'll see what comes out of it. That'll get processed back into the soil by the microorganisms ultimately. I think Thea's got all the dill that she wanted to get out of the garden so far. I've got lots of cleanup to get ready for the winter months here. I've got to decide what to do with the sage here, because this will all get tarped down, this bed will, after we get the leeks out of here and finish up with all the eggplants. Here's some of the oriental eggplants here. Not really as productive as our other Black Beauty eggplants are, but we always produce more eggplants than we can possibly consume. And again, the scarlet red runners, I think there was just too much competition between the spinach, the lettuce, and the beans. Didn't work out as well as I'd like. This bed is all finished here. I think I mentioned before that we went ahead and processed the Georgia Sweet Candy Roaster squash from this area. We already harvested, I can see there are a couple more kidney beans in here. Of course, the chives are all going to flower right now, more for the bees. We've got a little more weeding to do over here in the strawberry beds. And as it gets colder and these leaves start dying back, I'm going to try and get these transplants over into that bed as well. Sage is doing pretty well over here at the base. More strawberries here. We did pull out the cauliflower that was in here. Peppers are doing well. Thea harvested all of the onions, so they're all drying right now. And the basil is just going bananas here. What else? Smells delicious over here with all the basil. And of course there's some weeds in here, so I've got to clean this spot up some. And this is where I really want the strawberry plants to start to dry out like this. And of course I haven't been over here doing the work that I should be doing. And taking care of all these darn weeds before they drop their seeds all over the place. Jeez. And again, the banana peppers are always, I just love these banana peppers. They're so delicious. The melons, I don't know why this didn't do as well this season. I never got it weed matted appropriately. There's just that one little piece down there. I didn't finish the rest of it. Some of the melons have burst open, but some of them look like they're pretty ready here to, yeah, this one burst as well. So when they get too much water all at once, that can be a big problem as well. Sage over here doing really great. Thyme, our herb garden up front, which I haven't shown this season, is really doing great. But pretty happy with how our herbs have been doing all over the property. That's, oh, there's a little bit of bindweed in there. No, it isn't. And the irises are starting to pop up here, but I haven't spent any time getting rid of these weeds. Seems like there's always a bit too much to get done around here. Well, that's a walkabout throughout the gardens, the western, central, and eastern garden plots. Overall, I gotta say I'm real happy with how things have worked out in the gardens. Lots of productivity, with the exception of the blue potatoes, which are an Irish type of potato, but they're blue flesh throughout the whole potato, and we chose those, although they aren't as big or as sweet as many other potatoes, or have the buttery flavor of some potatoes, but they really have lots of phytonutrients, and we're all about nutrition. So they're a little bit smaller, and so that crop didn't turn out that well, and I think I explained my theories why that did work out the way that it did. Real sorry about not publishing or posting more videos. There's so many things that I think are fascinating that people would like to see as I'm going through some of these things. Like like yesterday, I harvested grapes from the grapevine. I got 1/2 of the way down one side of the grapes vines. It started raining, and I had 2 big bins of grapes from that. And it just takes so much time to process the grapes and get them frozen, because all of the various fruits end up in our smoothies throughout the year and all. And so the grapes are really good. Thea doesn't really appreciate the Concord seeds inside of them. So maybe I'll try and propagate some seedless ones in the future. I just love the flavor of the Concord grapes. They're really beautiful organic ones. But it takes so much time to process, whether it's apples, bananas, peppers, tomatoes, and all. And in our processing, we're getting more refined as time goes on. And I'd really like Thea to sit down with me for one of these videos, so that she could share some of the things, her views, what she finds challenging, what she finds rewarding, and all. You get those concepts from me because I'm the one talking in these videos, but it's always good to get the spouse's take on it as well. Maybe we can get her to sit down, but she's just so darn busy and all. And so that's that. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up. A reminder, if you want to help our channel out, if you shop on Amazon, use our Amazon affiliate link down below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but they do throw a few cents in a little commission for the things that you buy on Amazon, and that can help our channel out quite a bit as well. We really appreciate it. So take care, folks. Stay safe, and get ready for winter. Winter is coming. Take care now. Bye-bye.